Everybody, welcome back to Letterman Row. This is Bold Predictions live and in person. Hey, if we're all here ahead of the Big Ten title game, let's just do it.
Yeah, there's no reason to hold back and get all comfy, cozy in our chairs. Let's stand up.
Bonus weekend kickoff style for Bold Predictions. So Spencer Holbrook, Jeremy Birmingham, and me. I'm Austin Ward.
Hi, Austin.
In the same place, on the same screen, not in Zoom. So I don't know if it'll be quite as bold this week.
No. It feels weird, honestly, because we've gotten so these last 9 months have kind of made it pretty easy to just wear a shirt, and not have to put on jeans or whatever. But I'm glad to put on jeans today. Thanks, jeans.
Why don't you tell everybody what size you're wearing now? Just kidding. Spencer, you're going to start this week.
Ooh. Oh, wow.
On the spot, Spence.
All right, so I will just go ahead and get the big one out of the way. Ohio State's going to rush for 300 yards. Northwestern's run defense has been talked about all week, and for the last 2 weeks now that Ohio State knows who it's going to play. And the 2 times last year where we heard about a run defense against Ohio State's rushing attack, Ohio State completely dismantled that myth in the first quarter. And I think Ohio State will set the tone. I don't care who's playing offensive line. I don't care who's playing running back. I think Ohio State's going to set the tone early. They're going to establish a ground game, and I think they get 300 yards on the ground.
Spencer Holbrook, Mythbusters.
Did he read my bold prediction that I sent you for the story on the site?
Did not.
If you took it, then I'll take another one.
No. Don't worry. You'll get your chance. I did predict that Ohio State was going to run for 300 yards against Northwestern. But I also predicted that Justin Fields was going to throw for 300 as well. So
that was the prediction you wrote for the site, 600 yards.
600 yards of total offense for Ohio State. Northwestern is giving up an average of about 290 a game. Ohio State's going to double that, and they're going to run away with the game on Saturday. But it's going to start up front, and the Buckeyes' front 5 on offense is going to really wipe out Northwestern early. So for me, the first prediction is 600 yards of offense for Ohio State, 300 passing, 300 rushing.
Berm, you and I have talked about this really throughout the week and on the way over to Urban Meyer's Pine House tonight. I don't believe that Northwestern can score a touchdown against Ohio State. This front 7 is about as good as you're going to find anywhere in the country. They are absolutely rolling. I've watched the Wildcats the last few weeks on offense. There's been a lot of talk this week about Peyton Ramsey and how he's changed their attack. Don't listen to that. It's not correct. They are not good on offense. They ran the ball very well last week, but that was against Illinois. They can't throw. All right, so what's the only way that you could try and expose this Ohio State defense? It's through the air. I know that Peyton Ramsey had a great game with Indiana 2 years ago against Ohio State. There's been a trend with that, I guess, with the Hoosiers and that offense, but Northwestern is not a team that is capable of throwing the football against Ohio State, which is getting better, by the way. Marcus Hooker deserves a lot of credit for the way he played 2 weeks ago. We're continuing to hear Ronnie Hickman's name more after what he did in that game.
Josh Proctor will be back.
Sean Wade coming off back-to-back picks. Sevyn Banks still playing very high, that Spencer's pointed out several times. Playing at a high level, I should say. No touchdowns for Northwestern.
But that's bold. I mean, are you saying that – see, my thought is that even Michigan State scored a touchdown just on basically a fluke drive.
Yeah.
2-play, 75-yard drive where the Buckeyes were – up and just hit snooze for a second.
No flukes this week.
No flukes. So that's in itself a bold prediction. Spencer.
I would say that's pretty.
Prediction number 2.
I would say that's pretty bold. I'm gonna just go out, stick with the offense. Garrett Wilson will have a touchdown of more than 80 yards. Northwestern's going to play field position. They probably will get to near the 50-yard line at some point, and we'll get one of those Big Ten West style punts where Ohio State has to go 98 yards, and it's going to be very easy for them to do so. Northwestern is one of the best pass defenses in the Big Ten, and the best quarterback they've seen, I think, is either Spencer Petras from Iowa or Brandon Peters from Illinois. Yeah, I know.
I mean, listen, dude,
that's laughable.
Dude, seriously, the fact that 2020 has been what it is, that you know who Iowa's quarterback is, kudos. Because
and apparently it's the home of the Defensive Player of the Year in the Big Ten.
I thought Ricky.
We're going to get there with the third bowl prediction for me. Don't worry.
I thought Ricky Stanzi was still the quarterback at Iowa.
So
I thought it was Jake Rudock.
I don't think
he's back.
I don't think Northwestern has the talent or the ability to stay with Garrett Wilson, and the way Ohio State uses him, an 80-plus yard touchdown pass.
All that nice stuff that Berm said about Pat Fitzgerald this week to avoid getting on his bulletin board, it's out the window tonight.
Yeah, 200 yards rushing for Master Teague's counterpart,
Whoa.
Trey Sermon
Little misdirection.
will run for 200 yards. Of the 300 yards that Ohio State's going to run for, Trey Sermon is going to have two bills. Two. Now, how many touchdowns he gets, I don't know, but I know he's going to run for 200 yards.
He's trying
and
to hide his
do
score
it.
prediction because he doesn't have a notepad.
He's
going to
do it
at home,
on 19 carries. So it's going to be a big old fat day for Trey Sermon. Big old fat day.
Slurping it down like a big old fat milkshake.
That's what he's doing.
Stop me if you've heard this one before.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
This is when you know the end of the season can't get here fast enough. Spencer, he's going right back to the punt return.
Punt return. There it is. Garrett Wilson to the crib. It's not going to be 90 yards, but it's time, okay? I don't know how many times I have to speak it into existence, but it's going to happen this week. You know, you're not going to have any wind knocking down a punt, nothing squirrely going on. Garrett Wilson breaking the streak. It finally comes to an end.
I'm going to agree with you that there's going to be a special teams touchdown for Ohio State, but it's actually going to be DeMario McCall returning a kickoff for a touchdown.
See, the time I predicted that in a bold prediction, we didn't run the video, so I didn't have to worry about that.
I don't think he'll even return a kickoff. What?
Well, they're going to have to kick off at least once.
Have you ever seen him just...
It's pretty – I mean, I love that move. I think it's great. I've actually wondered – I was watching a game the other night, and I thought to myself, when did this become the symbol for a fair catch or, like, leave it alone? Like, back in the old days, we'd just be like, nah,
don't touch it now.
Now it's like,
boom.
I don't know what it is, but I like it.
Power T.
All right, number 3, going to the defensive side of the ball. I think Ohio State's defensive line is going to come in after seeing the all Big Ten defensive line and just wonder what the hell everybody in the Big Ten was watching.
Sure.
So I'm going to go with
that all year.
I'm going to go with at least 5 sacks for this front seven. Maybe it comes from a couple linebackers getting in on the action, but look at Jonathan Cooper, Tommy Togiai, Haskell Garrett. Name another defensive end with those guys. There's not
Tyreek Smith.
There we go.
Did it.
It's not there's not an
Tyler
offensive
Friday.
There's not an offensive lineman.
Javonte Jean-Baptiste. God, this is great.
Go ahead.
That's
a fun game.
Zach Harrison. Next.
There's not an offensive lineman on Northwestern's roster that can guard them, and the one who's supposed to be like a first-round pick opted out. So, yeah, Ohio State's defensive front is going to eat in this game because Peyton Ramsey's going to have to throw because they're going to be down. So Ohio State's defensive line is going to be active. At least 5 sacks for this front.
5 touchdowns for Justin Fields passing.
Ooh, I can start counting.
Now, 2 of them are going to Julian Fleming,
Okay.
who is going to catch his first and second career touchdown on Saturday against the Wildcats.
It's a good opportunity for him.
Yes, because he's good.
It's a big place to do it. I somehow didn't mention the one that I actually wrote in bold predictions yet, which is that Jeremy Ruckert will score 2 touchdowns for Ohio State, continuing his dominance of Indy. He doesn't have a catch in the last 2 weeks. He was on rolling through 3 weeks, had 3 touchdowns in those previous 2 games. And everyone's like, well, here we go. The tight ends are effective. He was 3rd on the team in catches, I think, at that point. It slipped off, but I think sometimes that's a matter of Ohio State continuing to have so many weapons and breaking tendency. So now if Northwestern is suddenly panicked about what's going on outside with the wide receivers, boom, red zone, Jeremy Ruckert, 2 touchdowns. I think he'll use 2 hands for both of them this time, not a one-handed grab. But he's going to have 2 touchdowns on the way to a 56-6 win over Northwestern.
56-6. Spencer, what is your score prediction so that I can figure out the right score?
It seems like every year Ohio State has a score that they hit, and they hit it like 3 or 4 times every year. 52 is that number this year. They hit it in the opener. They hit it against Michigan State. I think they're going to hit it again against Northwestern. 52-11.
Oh, 11. I like 11.
Because I think Northwestern's going to be really aggressive, and so there's going to be a 2-point conversion on any touchdown they score, which I believe will probably be in the first half. So let's go 52-11.
A first-half 2-point conversion attempt as well. I love all these bonus bold predictions.
49-10 Buckeyes. And that's, 5 Justin Fields touchdown passes, a kick return for DeMario McCall, and a rushing touchdown of less than 3 yards for Master Teague.
Can we, real quick, Austin didn't brag about how right he was during the Michigan State bowl predictions. I just have to throw my score out there for Michigan State. You might want to listen to me on these scores.
Why? What did you?
I guessed 52-13. The score was
score?
52-12.
Sounds to me like you were wrong, Spencer.
So
not sure.
I'm right in the ballpark there. So I think I'm going to be right this week.
I can't believe we've gotten to that point where we're patting ourselves on the back for being dead wrong.
Well, first he praised me for not patting myself on the back.
And then he proceeded to pat
really
himself on the back
really topsy-turvied it.
for going 50%.
All right.
Great job. America's schools are struggling. We're rewarding 50% achievement. Spencer, you've done great.
Let's hope that we have 2 more opportunities to make these bold predictions.
He has been better than us in pretty much every week. I mean, except for the Jeremy Ruckert rushing touchdowns,
as a fullback,
which will obviously haunt you forever.
Live in infamy.
It's called bold predictions for a reason, and I go as bold as I can sometimes, and if I lose that the boldest of my predictions, if that's wrong, then I live to see another at bat.
If being bold is wrong, Spencer doesn't want to be right.
Absolutely, none of us want to
Damn
be.
right.
That's the whole point of bold predictions. Spencer hit it on the head. Spencer Holbrook, Jeremy Birmingham, and me, Austin Ward. We're out full coverage of the Buckeyes as they head to Indianapolis for that Big Ten title on Saturday at noon, and hopefully we'll have a couple more opportunities to do these with you as this season rolls along. Thanks for joining us on Bold Predictions. Stay with us at LettermanRow.com.